The stories of revenge against predators often evoke strong emotions, particularly when the victims are innocent children. Here are three cases where adults took drastic measures against those who harmed their loved ones, highlighting the complexities of justice and morality in such heartbreaking scenarios. Case 1. Shanari and James Weams. In Owings, Maryland, Shanari Weams, a former correctional officer, ran a daycare with her husband, James Weams Jr., a retired Baltimore police officer. Their business seemed to thrive, and the couple appeared to share a solid relationship. However, things took a dark turn in July 2022 when a 10-year-old girl confided in her parents that James was violating her. The parents swiftly contacted authorities, leading to a police investigation that resulted in the daycare's closure. James Weems denied the allegations, and initially Shanari believed him. However, upon speaking with the victim's mother, the truth began to sink in. The realization that the man she trusted most had committed heinous acts against an innocent child filled Shanari with rage. On July 21st, 2022, she sent a chilling text to a business partner stating, "I'm going to kill him, and then myself." Shortly after, she confronted James at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Washington, D.C. When the incident concluded, James had been shot twice and was rushed to the hospital. Shanari was arrested, and during police questioning, she revealed that she had snapped under the weight of the betrayal. Just 5 days later, James Weems, 57, was arrested for violating multiple children at the daycare, confirming Shanari's worst fears. As details of the shooting and subsequent arrests emerged, public opinion largely sided with Shanari, many feeling her actions were justified. Despite the sympathy she garnered, Shanari faced serious legal consequences. She pleaded guilty to aggravated assault and weapons charges, with prosecutors recommending a 2-year prison sentence. However, in July 2023, she was sentenced to 4 years in prison, a decision that shocked both her and those involved in the case. By October 2024, Shanari and James were divorced, and during his trial she testified against him, alongside the victim who had bravely come forward. James's defense team failed to create reasonable doubt, leading to his conviction on 6 charges related to his crimes against minors. He was scheduled for sentencing on January 8, 2025, with expectations of receiving a life sentence. Case 2. The Father in Daytona Beach. In another harrowing tale, a father in Daytona Beach returned home to find a disturbing scene. His 11-year-old son being victimized by 18-year-old Raymond Frolander. The father, filled with a protective rage, immediately confronted the predator, unleashing a brutal beating on Frolander before calling the police. "I knocked him out on the floor for you, and I got him in a bloody puddle," the father told the officer during the call. Despite considering a more permanent solution by retrieving a butcher knife to kill Frolander, the young boy intervened, stopping his father from going through with it. Many sympathized with the father, believing that his reaction was justified given the circumstances. Remarkably, he faced no charges for his actions. Frolander was charged with serious crimes and faced the possibility of life in prison. To spare the young victim the trauma of a trial, Frolander was allowed to plead no contest to lascivious acts with a minor. He was subsequently sentenced to 25 years in prison. At just 5 feet 6 inches and 126 pounds, Frolander remained incarcerated at Okaloosa Correctional Institution in Crestview, Florida, with his release date set for May 26, 2037. Upon release, he would be subjected to GPS monitoring and lifetime probation, raising concerns about the safety of the community. Case 3. Gary Plo's Revenge. The story of Gary Plo is one of profound tragedy and despair. Born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, on February 14, 1984, Gary was a dedicated father of 4, trying to navigate life as a single parent following his separation from his wife, June. His youngest son, Jody, began taking karate lessons from 25-year-old Jeffrey Dway, who quickly ingratiated himself with the family. Unbeknownst to Gary and June, Dway had sinister intentions. Over a year, he groomed Jody and ultimately began to abuse him. The nightmare reached its climax on February 14, 1984, when Dway kidnapped Jody, taking him from Louisiana to Anaheim, California. During this time, the family was frantic, desperately searching for their missing son. After nearly 2 weeks, Jody managed to place a collect call home, providing authorities with crucial information that led to his rescue. Once located, he revealed the horrors he had endured. When Dway was brought back to Baton Rouge on March 16, 1984, media swarmed the airport to cover his arrival. Gary, fueled by rage and heartbreak, was also present. Disguised in a baseball cap and sunglasses, he waited for Dway to appear. As Dway, handcuffed and surrounded by police, walked through the terminal, Gary raised a small handgun and fired a single shot, hitting Dway in the head. The predator collapsed to the ground, bleeding. After putting down the gun, Gary surrendered to authorities. The ensuing trial was fraught with public opinion divided along emotional lines. Many saw Gary as a grieving father who was pushed to the brink, while others viewed his actions as taking the law into his own hands. Psychological evaluations revealed the deep impact of the abuse on Gary's mental state, with experts arguing that he was temporarily incapable of distinguishing right from wrong when he pulled the trigger. Faced with a second-degree murder charge, Gary ultimately accepted a plea deal, pleading no contest to manslaughter. Although he could have faced up to 21 years in prison, the judge opted for a suspended 7-year sentence, coupled with 5 years of probation and 300 hours of community service. Remarkably, he served no time behind bars. Following his sentence, Dway's brother expressed discontent, claiming that justice had not been served. Gary Plow lived a quiet life after the trial, grappling with the emotional aftermath of the tragedy. He suffered a stroke in 2011 and passed away in 2014 at the age of 68, leaving behind a complicated legacy marked by both love and loss. Conclusion: these cases reveal the intense struggles faced by victims' families and the lengths to which they may go to seek justice or revenge. The complexities of love, betrayal, and morality intertwine in these narratives, prompting difficult questions about the nature of justice and the protection of the innocent. Each story serves as a reminder of the profound impact that predators can have on families and communities, as well as the emotional turmoil experienced by those who seek to defend their loved ones from harm.